Happy New Year. For those of you who are new to my channel and joining for the first time today, I focus on projecting my best self out into the world through personal style and investigating various new age and holistic practices. I'll be focusing in this video on talking about goal setting and how I plan to get to my goals and the kind of system that I'm going to be using for goal setting this year, which is a little bit different than what I've used in previous years. And then additionally, I'm going to be focusing on things I'm loving in 2025, some of the things I picked up in late December 2024, and a few of the items I picked up very recently, including a few pieces from Sezane's Winter 2025 collection, which was released at the beginning of January. Before I get into the new method that I'm going to try, I'll speak to what I typically do. So normally I don't do my annual goal setting in January. Normally I do it in October around the time of my birthday because I like to think of my new year happening right after my birthday. This year, I've decided to do something a little bit different. So how I heard about this method was on the Mel Robbins podcast. I commute into work about 3 days a week during rush hour each way. That's a 6-hour commute that I have, and I use that time to listen to self-help podcasts. And one of the podcasts I listen to is the Mel Robbins podcast. And she really focuses on personal development, and she has a lot of guests on her show. She recently wrote a book called The Let Them Theory. And this kind of framework for achieving your goals, I believe, is in that new book. So I'll be sure to link the podcast episode that I listened to about goal setting down below, as well as a link to Mel Robbins' new book. She really outlines an awesome goal setting formula that she says can work for just about any goal that you have. So the first piece of this goal setting is to simply define your goal. And I remember from that episode, she had said that a lot of folks don't take the time to define their goals like really specifically. They just kind of blaze right through and start working on various projects or start working on various dreams and then never really achieve them. And she really differentiates between a dream versus a goal, because a dream doesn't necessarily need to happen, but a goal has very achievable steps that, if you just progress through them, you can achieve that. So the first step is defining your goal. And then the second step is to just write that goal down. She recommends writing the goal down very clearly and posting it somewhere you're coming into contact with kind of daily. My 2025 goals, I'm just going to read them, and I really base them on the kind of level of specificity that Mel had suggested when she was talking about goal setting. My first goal is about my YouTube channel. That goal is to publish 2 YouTube videos monthly for a minimum of 24 videos, and to grow my audience to 5,000 subscribers and begin generating advertising revenue by June. So that's a pretty specific goal around my YouTube channel, and I do have metrics and measurements so that I'm able to hold myself accountable to that goal. Number 2 is a movement goal. So I'd like to consistently exercise for 4 to 5 times a week and to build muscle mainly and maintain my body weight. My third goal, it is to eat healthy meals daily that I've prepared and to limit restaurant meals to 1 to 2 times a week. I have a somewhat high pressure demanding job, so sometimes my nutrition goes to the wayside. One of the things that Mel talks about in her podcast is if there's a point where you're working towards your goals and for some reason you're not achieving them, so it could be a timing thing. I had a goal last year to finish a micro credential in meditation by this summer. I had done so many courses last fall that I did one of the courses in the micro credential for meditation, and there is no way I'm doing more courses right now. I would still like to achieve that goal and become a certified meditation instructor, but I'm gonna, give that a much bigger timeline. The next step is finding the formula. You can typically figure out what the formula is through Google by finding people that have achieved it and then just figuring out what they did to achieve that goal. The fourth part of the formula is doing the reps. And it's that grunt work that you need to do in order to achieve your goals. In my case, it's going for a swim. So I'm a big swimmer. I know that pool is cold and I do not like cold water. So I have to like work myself up. I want to go for a swim. I know it's good for me. I have my goal. So I can just zip up there, get, a 30 or 45 minute swim in, no problem. It's really easy for me to just not do it because I'm too tired, too busy, had a big dinner and don't feel like it. However, I just have to do it. I've made a commitment to myself and I've set a standard, and I know as soon as I get in the pool, after I get through that first shock of the cool water, that I'll be very happy and that I'm gonna feel amazing after my swim. It's about doing that work that it takes to achieve any goal that isn't really glamorous, that people don't see. It's the daily grind of it all. And it's really important that you set yourself up for success when you're doing that work. So the next step in that framework is really making it easier for yourself and finding ways to make it fun. While you're doing the reps, how do you make it more exciting for yourself? How do you find an accountability buddy maybe to help you? Or how do you set your week up for success so that you're not having to worry on a day-to-day about, okay, how am I going to fit in this workout? Or how am I going to fit in this research I need to do for this business I'm looking at setting up, or whatever it is that you want to achieve. So it's understanding and accepting that it's not going to be glamorous or fun necessarily, but that there are ways to make it easier on yourself or to make it a little less monotonous. The last piece of the Mel Robbins framework is perseverance. You really need to commit, because that's how you'll see it through. You will come up against obstacles, or there are things that might happen in your life that move you away from your goal for a few days or even a few weeks or even a few months. And then not beating yourself up so much if you haven't yet achieved it, or if it took longer, or if you had any setbacks. And I'll let you know how that works out for me this year, and if I find that I'm able to kind of get on that path and stay motivated and driven to achieve those goals, and then report back. Now I'm going to shift gears a little bit and talk about other things that I'm loving in 2025. So one of the things I'm going to start with is my gratitude journal. So this is my journal. I just picked it up online. It's not a brand name. There's nothing kind of super fancy about it. What I love about this journal is the prompts. It's really cool. You can see here that there's little quotes, there's a date, and then there's a few prompts. And the prompts include, today I'm grateful for ... How will I make today great? I am, what? And it's supposed to be a self booster, so something positive about yourself. And then in the night, you also write a little note to yourself about how you could have made the day better and 3 awesome things that happened. So you're practicing gratitude in the morning and the night. It only takes about 5 minutes to do my pages, and I find that I am sticking to gratitude journaling so much more with this book than I have with others. I really need prompts, so I have found this really helpful for myself. When I'm looking at a blank page, I'll write a few little bullets, or I'll write pages for a few days and then it'll fall off. So if you're somebody that wants to get into journaling but you haven't been super successful in sticking with it, I really recommend finding a little gratitude journal that has some prompts and where you don't have to write for 15 minutes or half an hour in order to feel like you've achieved something. So I'll save the link just for those who might be interested in the one that I found. And note that this one, it's not super thick, so it's good for about 6 months of journaling. Another thing that I am absolutely loving is Dr. Rangan Chatterjee's book called Make Change That Lasts. 9 simple ways to break free from the habits that hold you back. I was first introduced to Dr. Rangan on the Almost 30 podcast, another really cool podcast that I listen to on my way to and from work. And he's a medical doctor that really specializes in holistic healthcare. But when I heard him on the podcast, he was talking about his new book, and he was also talking about resilience, which is what this book is about. It's about making change that lasts through resilience, and it's a really cool pairing with the Mel Robbins framework I just talked about, because this is supporting how you're able to persevere. So that last piece that she had said, that last piece of her framework, he's really supporting how you do that. And one of the examples he gives is when you see somebody cut you off and there's this immediate response of that's not fair, and why did that person do that, how dare they, I was having such a great day. And he talks about that, that's a really natural human reaction, because it's kind of in our DNA that we would respond to threats in a certain way that is very self-protective. But in this day and age, we're just like pumping cortisol through our bodies when these small threats that we see are perceived as really big, or when we're getting stressed out and frustrated on a regular basis, because day-to-day life in 2025 is super demanding. So this reminds me of the Buddhist concept of non-attachment. It's not being so attached to expectations. And if you do have expectations, part of that is expecting that things might go sideways sometimes. And that resilience is really staying aligned. That resilience is really staying aligned when things don't go as expected. Case in point, when your little cat wakes up and comes in to the frame of your YouTube video, you can get, upset that he has hopped up here, but he's just too cute to get angry at, so of course I'm not going to. But I'm just going to roll with it and accept that Crema is up here and he's just going to be part of the video now. So that's a great kind of example of that resilience. So lots more in this book that I haven't even touched on yet, but really excited. It's just recently been released. I will say my one criticism of this book is that it has a lot of photos in it and they're all black and white. Apparently the UK version has color photography. So I do find these inspirational photos to be a little lame or lackluster when they're on, black and white kind of newsprint. But anyways, the content is really fantastic. So I definitely recommend. Some other things I'm loving in 2025 are Everlane's cozy rib tees, tanks, and dresses. They came out with the cozy rib tee in, I think it was last summer, and they're a bit of a higher price point t-shirt. They came out in a few standard colors, so cream, black, and I think they came out in a beige or kind of muted brown tone. And then in the fall, they came out with a beautiful green shade, as well as they expanded the range. So now they have, I think, some wrap tops in the knit. They also have some long sleeves, but I really love the tanks and the t-shirts. I was able to get a few in December on discount, and it looks like they are keeping these in their collection. So if you really like a nice knit tee or tank, I recommend you check them out. They're a little bit different than a standard tank top or tee. The other kind of fashion item I'm really excited about is from Sezane. I find things from Sezane are pretty hit or miss for me, but I found two amazing pieces that I am absolutely in love with. This is a really cute cardigan, and it's got the most beautiful kind of lacy detail, but it's 100% cotton, and it has covered buttons and beautiful kind of edging. So it's just so well finished, and it does remind me of some of the knit cardigans that I had in the 90s, only they, you know, weren't quite as high end because there was a bit of a 60s revival in the 90s too. But I am absolutely loving this cardigan, maybe the Noli cardigan. Hope I'm saying that right. The other cardigan that I'm loving is the Esor cardigan. It is so beautiful. It is a heavier weight cardigan, and I got that in the smaller size. So I got that in the 36, which is a US Canadian size 4. It is so gorgeous. It's a chunky knit, but it's not too heavy. The button placket is even reinforced so that the sweater doesn't stretch, which I haven't seen on any kind of higher end sweater that I've purchased. So really beautiful detailing. It's a bit of a raglan shoulder. I ordered this in the smaller size because I wanted it to hit at my waist. The way that it's styled on the model in the photography is that it's worn looser and longer, but I wanted to wear it in a more fitted way so that it was kind of a bit more cute versus being loose and airy. So it just depends on what you're looking for, but I'd say if you're a more petite person and you don't want it to feel so oversized, you could definitely size down to like a slightly lower size. I also got this beautiful Magnolia knitwear Victorian jacket, and I am absolutely in love with it. This is an Etsy seller, but I got it in the petrol knit, and I think it's so beautiful. I had it custom made to fit me. The shoulders hang just right. It has a cropped waist. It's a handmade. The buttons are adorable, and this petrol color has like such a vintage look. I haven't found this exact shade of like teal ever. I can wear it more casually. It dresses anything up, and it is quite warm. It's a little bit delicate because it is hand knit, but for that reason, I do take really good care of it. The other thing that I'm absolutely loving is a new bag from Fossil that just happens to be on sale. It's like marked down by 50%. I have it in the mink color, and it is called the Everleigh bag. It is a leather crossbody. It is so adorable. I used to work at a social enterprise, and I actually did a lot of licensing deals and sold artisanal jewelry into Fossil. So I've been to their head office. I've worked with some of their designers and merchandisers, and they have a fantastic team. So, you know, whenever I see a piece that I love, I'm happy to support that brand. What I really like is the pebbled texture of this and the gold hardware. Again, it has like a bit of a vintage look to it. It has a pocket in the back, which you can see, and the texture of the leather feels really nice. I like a pebbled leather. The other thing I really like is that the inside of the bag, you can actually see what's in the bag because it's a lighter brown. It also has this dividing pocket, and it has a zippered pocket that you can't quite see, so it easily fits, you know, my phone, a smaller wallet, not a large wallet, and kind of anything I need if I'm just doing a few errands during the day or if I'm going out for dinner. The other really cool thing about this bag is it can be a crossbody or a short strap bag. So all you need to do in order to convert this bag, it has these little snaps here, and then you just open them up and you just pull. So I'm just gonna unsnap and I'm gonna open and pull this here. Okay, so now it's a crossbody bag. They have it in 4 colors. I really love this mink color, which is very in for 2025. It's also very classic in my opinion, but I do know that the brown bag is gonna be a big thing in 2025. Now I'm gonna shift a little bit and talk about just a few cosmetic items. One of the things I'm loving for 2025 is something that I picked up right at the end of 2024. I picked it up to wear over the holiday season, but it would work literally any time of year. And that is the Kosas lipstick. It is called the Weightless Lip Color Nourishing Satin Lipstick. And the color here is Vegas. What's really cool about the packaging is that it's magnetic. It's also a really fun color and very easy to spot in your purse. And the Vegas color is a beautiful brownish neutral, kind of 90s. Works great on my light olive complexion. I'm wearing it now. I think it would work on a lot of skin tones. It's definitely a little bit warm. The reason that I like this lipstick, aside from the packaging and the color, is the formula. So with this, I do not need to put as much moisturizing balm. I can put this straight on my lips and not have my lips starting to feel really dry, which is very rare for a lipstick. So definitely recommend this for folks that are into this color and those that like a more moisturizing lipstick. Because it's more moisturizing, it doesn't have the longevity that a lot of lipsticks might that are more matte. But if you need that moisture, this is a fantastic one. So the final thing I'm going to be sharing in this video of new products that I love in 2025 is kind of an oldie but a goodie. And I had shared this in the video that I did where I talked about clean beauty and clean moisturizers in my facial routine. So I'll share a link to that video as well below. But I wanted to share my beloved CeraVe Ultralight Moisturizing Lotion in SPF 30. This is one of the top recommended moisturizing facial lotions with SPF from the Environmental Working Group. It's also recognized by the Canadian Dermatology Association as providing proper sun protection. It has a matte finish. I'm obsessed with this product. I buy it over and over. The issue I have had with this product is I keep cracking the lid. So to my surprise, when I ordered online the new version, it is same size, I believe, 52 mils. Ooh, 2 more mils. But it's also in a slightly different format. So it has this lid that's made of a different type of plastic. So it's not, the other one was more acrylic-y. So this one is flexible and I'm not gonna have to worry about it cracking. The case of the dropsies. So I drop everything. I drop and crack those acrylic lids constantly. And you can see the pump is a little bit more modern looking too. It's one of those, just a different shape, or if it'll pump out a bit differently. I guess we can test it here. There we go. So I'm sure now that now that there's air in it, pumps out really well. So if any of you are fans of CeraVe, definitely check this out, and the packaging has been improved. Okay, that's it for things I'm excited about in 2025, and it would really help me out if you liked this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have any feedback for me on content, please do let me know. I may be doing more similar videos to this later, so if you're interested in hearing more about things that I'm liking or finding cool, I'm happy to do future videos on that. And if you decide to try out Mel Robbins' framework on how to set goals, please do let me know. Or if you have any goals that you want to set this year, please share in the comments below. I would love to hear them. Thanks so much again for listening and sticking with me today, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.